Part 5. Justin. Sometimes I think my head is so big because it's so full of dreams. John Merrick and Bernard's Pomerantz, the Elephant Man. Now this is from Justin's point of view. Olivia's brother. The first time I meet Olivia's little brother, I have to admit I'm totally taken by surprise. Now, first of all, let me pause real quick. Justin does not have correct grammar, so it's going to look really weird, and it's going to be hard for me to read through this, so bear with me because all the grammar and everything is all messed up. But that's because it's from Justin's point of view. So it's like as if Justin wrote this. Okay, here we go. The first time I meet Olivia's little brother, I have to admit I'm totally taken by surprise. I should be, of course. Olivia's told me about his syndrome. Has even described what he looks like, but she's also talked about all his surgeries over the years, so I guess I assumed he'd be more normal looking by now. Like when a kid is born with a cleft palate and has plastic surgery to fix it, sometimes you can't even tell except for the little scar above the lip. I guess I thought her little brother would have some scars here and there, but not this. I definitely wasn't expecting to see this little kid in a baseball cap who's sitting in front of me right now. Actually, there are two kids sitting in front of me, and one is a totally normal-looking kid with curly blonde hair named Jack, and the other is Augie. I like to think I'm able to hide my surprise. I hope I do. Surprise is one of those emotions that can be hard to fake, though, whether you're trying to look surprised when you're not, or trying to not look surprised when you are. I shake his hand. I shake the other kid's hand. Don't want to focus on his face. Cool room, I say. Are you maybe his boyfriend, he says. I think he's smiling. Olivia pushes down his baseball cap. Is that a machine gun? The blonde kid asks. Like I haven't heard that one before. And we talk about the Sadeko for a bit, and then Mia's taking my hand and leading me out of the room, and as soon as we close the door behind us, we hear them laughing. I'm from Brooklyn, one of them sings. Olivia rolls her eyes as she smiles. Let's go hang out in my room, she says. We've been dating for 2 months now, and I knew from the moment I saw her, the minute she sat down at our table at the cafeteria, that I liked her. I couldn't keep my eyes off her. Really beautiful, with olive skin and the bluest eyes I've ever seen in my life. At first, she acted like she only wanted to be friends, and I think she kind of gives off that vibe without even meaning to. Stay back. Don't even bother. She doesn't flirt like some of the other girls do. She looks you right in the eye when she talks to you, like she's daring you. So I just kept looking right in her eye too, like I was daring her right back. And then I asked her out, and she said yes, which rocked. She's an awesome girl, and I love hanging out with her. She didn't tell me about August until our third date. I think she used the phrase a craniofacial abnormality to describe his face, or maybe it was craniofacial anomaly. I know the word she didn't use was deformed, though, because that word would have registered with me. So, what did you think? She asked me nervously the second we were inside her room. Are you shocked? No, I lie. She smiles and looks away. You're shocked. I'm not, I assure her. He's just like what you said he'd be. She nods and plops down on her bed. Kind of cute how she still has like a lot of stuffed animals on her bed. She takes one of them, a polar bear, without thinking of it, puts it in her lap. I sit down in the rolling chair by her desk. Her room is immaculate, which means really, really clean. When I was little, she says, there were lots of kids who never came back for a second play date. I mean, lots of kids. I even had friends who wouldn't come back to my birthdays because he'd be there. They never actually told me this, but it would get back to me. Some people just don't know how to deal with Augie, you know? I nod. It's not even like they're being mean, she adds. They're just scared. I mean, let's face it. His face is a little, scary, right? I guess, I answer. But you're okay with it? She asks me sweetly. You're not too freaked out or scared? I'm not freaked out or scared, I smiled. She nods and looks down at the polar bear on her lap. I can't tell whether she believes me or not, but then she gives the polar bear a kiss on the nose and tosses it to me with a little smile. I think that means she believes me, or at least that she wants to. Valentine's Day. I give Olivia a heart necklace for Valentine's Day, and she gives me a messenger bag that she's made out of floppy disks. Very cool how she makes little things like that. Earrings out of pieces of circuit boards, dresses out of t-shirts, bags out of old jeans. She's so creative. I tell her that she could be an artist someday. She wants to be a scientist, a geneticist of all things. She wants to find cures for people like her brother, I guess. We make plans for me to finally meet her parents at a Mexican restaurant on Amsfort Avenue near her house on Saturday night. All day long I'm nervous about it, and when I get nervous, my tics come out. I mean, my tics are always there, but they're not like they used to be when I was little. A few hard blinks now, the occasional head pull, but when I'm stressed they get worse, and I'm definitely stressing about meeting her folks. They're waiting inside when I get to the restaurant. The dad gets up and shakes my hand, and the mom gives me a hug. I give Augie a hello fist punch and kiss Olivia on the cheek before I sit down. It's so nice to meet you, Justin. We've heard so much about you. Her parents couldn't be nicer. Put me at ease right away. The waiter brings out the menus, and I notice his expression the moment he lays eyes on August, but I pretend not to notice. I guess we're all pretending not to notice things, right? Tonight. The waiter, my tics, the way August crushes the tortilla chips on the table and spoons the crumbs into his mouth. I look at Olivia and she smiles at me. She knows. She's seen the waiter's face. She sees my tics. Olivia's a girl who sees everything. We spend the entire dinner talking and laughing. Olivia's parents asked me about my music and how I got into fiddle and stuff like that. And I tell them about how I used to play the classical violin, but I got into the Appalachian folk music and then the Zydeco. And they're listening to every word like they're really interested. They tell me to let them know the next time my band's playing a gig so they can come listen. I'm not used to all the attention, to be truthful. My parents don't have a clue about what I want to do with the rest of my life. They never ask. We never talk like this. I don't even think they know I traded my Barkey violin for an 8-string Hardanger fiddle 2 years ago. After dinner, we go back to Olivia's for some ice cream. Their dog greets us at the door. An old dog. Super sweet. She's thrown up all over the hallway, though. And Olivia's mom rushes to get paper towels while the dad picks up the dog like she's a baby. "What's up, old girlie?" he says. And the dog's just in heaven. The tongue's hanging out, tails wagging, legs in the air, awkward angles. "Dad, tell Justin how you got Daisy," says Olivia. "Oh, yeah," says Augie. The dad smiles, sits down in a chair with the dog still cradled in his arms. It's obvious he's told this story a lot of times, and they love to hear it. So I'm coming home from the subway one day, and he says, and a homeless guy I've never seen in this neighborhood before is pushing this floppy mutt in a stroller. And he comes up to me and says, "Hey, mister, want to buy my dog?" And without even thinking about it, I say, "Sure, how much you want?" And he says, $10. So I give him the $20, and I have in my wallet, and he hands me the dog. Justin, I'm telling you, you'll never smelled anything so bad in your life. She stank so much I can't even tell you. So I took her right then and there to the vet down the street and brought her home. Didn't even call me first, by the way. The mom interjects as she cleans the floor to see if I'm okay with bringing home some homeless guy's dog. The dog actually looked at the mom when she said this, like she understands everything everyone is saying about her. She's a happy dog. Like she knows she lucked out on finding a family like this. Or on that day, finding this family. I kind of know how she feels. I like Olivia's family. They laugh a lot. My family's not like this at all. My mom and dad got divorced when I was 4, and they pretty much hate each other. I grew up spending half of every week in my dad's apartment in Chelsea and the other half at my mom's place in Brooklyn Heights. I have a half-brother who's 5 years older than me and barely knows I exist. For as long as I can remember, I felt like my parents could hardly wait for me to be old enough to take care of myself. You can go to the store by yourself. Here's the key to the apartment. It's funny how there's a word like overprotective to describe some parents, but no word that means the opposite. And what word would you use to describe parents who don't protect enough? Underprotective? Neglectful? Self-involved? Lame? All of the above. Olivia's family tell each other, "I love you," all the time. I can't remember the last time anyone in my family said that to me. By the time I go home, my tics have all stopped. Our town. We're doing the play Our Town from the spring show this year. Olivia dares me to try out for the lead role, the stage manager, and somehow I get it. Total fluke. Never got any lead roles in anything before. I tell Olivia she brings me good luck. Unfortunately, she doesn't get the female lead, Emily Gibbs. The pink-haired girl named Miranda gets it. Olivia gets a bit part and is also the Emily understudy. I'm actually more disappointed than Olivia is. She almost seems relieved. I don't love people staring at me, she says, which is sort of strange coming from such a pretty girl. A part of me thinks maybe she blew her audition on purpose. The spring show is at the end of April. It's mid-March now, so that's less than 6 weeks to memorize my part, plus rehearsal time, plus practicing with my band, plus finals, plus spending time with Olivia. It's going to be a rough 6 weeks, that's for sure. Mr. Davenport, the drama teacher, is already manic about the whole thing. Will drive us crazy by the time it's over, no doubt. I hear, though, through the grapevine that he's been planning on doing The Elephant Man, but changed it to our town at the last minute. And that change took a week off of our rehearsal schedule. Not looking forward to the craziness of the next month and a half. So it sounds like Justin's quite the busy guy, right? Ladybug. Olivia and I are sitting on her front step. She's helping me with my lines. It's a warm March evening, almost like summer. The sky is still bright, cyan, but the sun is low and the sidewalks are streaked with long shadows. I'm reciting. Yes, the sun's come up over 1,000 times, summers and winters, and cracked the mountains a little bit more, and the rains have brought down some of the dirt. Some babies that weren't even born yet have begun talking regular sentences already, and a number of people who thought they were right young and spry have noticed that they can't bound a flight of stairs like they used to without their heart fluttering a little. I shake my head. I can't remember the rest. All that can happen in 1,000 days, Olivia prompts me, reading from the script. Right, I say, shaking my head. I sighed. I'm wiped. Olivia, how the heck am I going to remember all these lines? You will, she answers confidently. She reaches out and cups her hand over a ladybug that appears out of nowhere. A good luck sign, she says, slowly lifting her top hand to reveal the ladybug walking on the palm of her hand. Good luck or just the hot weather, I joke. Of course good luck, she answers, watching the ladybug crawl up her wrist. There should be a thing about making a wish on a ladybug. Augie and I used to do that with fireflies when we were little. She cups her hand over the ladybug again. Come on, make a wish. Close your eyes. I dutifully close my eyes. A long second passes, and then I open them. Did you make a wish? She asks. Yep. She smiles, uncups her hands, and the ladybug, as if on cue, spreads its wings and flits away. Don't you want to know what I wished for? I ask. No, she answers shyly, looking up the sky, which at this very moment is the exact color of her eyes. I made a wish too, she says mysteriously, but she has so many things she could wish for. I have no idea what she's thinking.